Hi everybody. Sorry about that. Um, okay. Hi everybody. I'm supposed to do this on Halloween day, but I kind of forgot. So sorry. Oops. The reason I wanted to do this on the day was because it would have been John Candy's 75th birthday. So, but sadly we lost him at 43. So I thought it'd be a fitting kind of tribute to him to talk about some of his best movies, in my opinion. Now, as I always say in these things, there's no way I can talk about every film he's ever done. We'd be here for 2 hours, at least, and with all my thoughts and everything. So I'm going to cut it down to my five favorite John Candy roles, and I'll add some other stuff in there. So it'll only be a couple minutes here. Okay. Um. Okay. So I have to give you a bit of background. He was born in Canada, and he moved to the states. I don't know when, but his everyone on his father's side had heart problems. So his dad passed away when he was 5, and his dad was 35. And his brother had some kind of heart thing in his early 40s, I believe. And so it was kind of genetic. Okay. Um, and it's everybody talks about how fitting it is that he was born on Halloween because his name is John Candy. So yeah. Um, and what I liked about him is that he is kind of an everyman. He played roles of the best friend of most of the main characters, but you could always picture yourself in the role, you know? And you always wanted a friend like him. Okay, he played the brother to Tom Hanks in Splash, and he played a best friend of Richard Pryor in Brewster's Millions, um, where a guy had to spend $30 million in a month, a month to get 300 million. And the only caveat was he couldn't make a profit from any of the stuff that he bought. So if anything was kind of considered an investment, he lost the money. Um, and then the ensuing thing is that he paid his friend to just be on his staff, kind of, but John Candy's character wouldn't take the money. Okay. So then he played, let's see, he kind of played not the best friend, but a friend of Steve Martin's character in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm going to do a separate video about that because it's one of the few movies I've seen that has a Thanksgiving theme. Now, if you've been following my channel at all, you guys know I've been searching for years for movies with a Thanksgiving theme. The problem is that even if they're made in November, they always tend to talk about Christmas more than Thanksgiving. Okay, so I haven't done a video about Thanksgiving ish movies because there are few and far between. So that's the reason why. I've been on the hunt. Trust me. Okay. Another John Candy role I liked was I still like it is the role he played in Home Alone. Now for this one I happen to have a little bit of background. Now of course the main character is Kevin McAllister. We all know that. Okay? But not a lot of people focus on John Candy's character, who is Gus, who plays in a polka band with his friends, And he's the reason why the mother came home, because if you remember, they left the kid home alone. Okay, that's the whole premise. However, the secondary premise is they're trying to get home. So she stays at the airport the entire time they're supposed to be on vacation on standby. She goes from place to place to place, and she's been so many places she forgets where she is. And she goes up to the ticket counter and basically begs the person to give her a ticket, to just let her go home. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Then Gus, the character of Gus, happens to overhear the dilemma and offers her a ride in the van with his poker van home. So another interesting fact about the whole thing was they wanted John Candy to do it. However, they were afraid they weren't going to be able to do it. But he agreed to do it, and they only had him for one day, and it took him the whole day to do it. But that's why he was in the movie in the first place. Another tidbit. Okay. And then, well, and then in Splash, and then I'll go back to the other roles, and I'll give some more information on that. Okay. So the movie in the role in Splash, Tom Hanks is the main character, but John Candy plays his brother, and John Candy says, "Look, I'll never have a relationship. I'll probably never have a relationship because people don't see me in a romantic way. But you have a chance, and you got to take that chance." So, because of him, Tom Hanks' character takes a chance with the mermaid, and they live happily ever after. So, very pivotal parts in all the movies he played. So, yeah. Oh, and then of course, I think y'all know him from Cool Runnings. I think that was his last film though. Because like I said, I didn't think anybody expected to lose him so early because it was 1994, and as far as his film career, he'd only had a few roles in films. Now he had done some other stuff, like not in films, but he was just getting started kind of in that part of his career, but then his life was cut short. So, um, another somewhat interesting factoid here. And this is a little bit sad, but it's not too bad. Okay. For his funeral, they closed the 405 in Los Angeles. Now, that's a major highway, and they never ever closed the 405. You have to be a president, a dignitary, something like that. So for them to close the 405 is huge. Yeah. So that just shows that he meant something to a lot of people. A lot of people. So I hope I did him justice. Oh, and then also he happened to be best friends with John Hughes, and so John Hughes used him a lot. And also he had two children, Christopher Candy and Jennifer Candy. And I think Jennifer Candy has her own YouTube channel here, so you might look her up. I don't really know what Christopher Candy is doing these days. I'll look it up and I'll make another video about that, a separate video about that. But I just want to put this one out right away. All right, bye guys.